Okay, so we've got 3 hours allotted. We ought to actually beat Lisa now, finally. We've been playing this game for quite a while on Eternus Subblock, and this is actually an anniversary stream, which is why we're running as late as we are. Last episode, which the rerun ended perfectly for once, I finally got the timing right. Last episode, we went over this way and ran into a childhood friend who committed suicide, and then it seemed like there was no way to get out of there. I'm going to try it one more time to see if there's a way to escape. If not, I've got a couple more things that I can do near the hub area. I was like, he chased this guy over there on the motorcycle, and the motorcycle's out of gas. So actually, Eternus, if you're here, is there something I can do after I jump over there with the motorcycle, or is it meant to be a sequence that you see and then load your save from? You can get out? Okay. No stakes, let's just have some fun. There goes. Truck keys will get you out of there too. Okay, I wasn't sure if maybe those were... I've been in a couple areas where I wasn't allowed to use them. I might be screwed once that happens. Let me see if I can suicide myself to restart. Oh, he already has an advantage on me if that happens. Okay, gotcha. Oops. Third time's a charm. I guess I'll just get stuck on the rock and get back on it and let him win. He's steering with his teeth because he has no arms. Because of what I've done to this poor character in the course of this playthrough. Picked a new your whole life. I did it because I was envious of you. Time for me to go. Poor little animal. Game is super dark. Out of gas. Okay, I guess I didn't fully explore up here. Let me see what I can find. So I can get out now, or do I have to like beat him in the race in order to be able to escape? I don't think just getting on my normal bicycle is good enough. Hey, Lit Effects, how you doing? Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make that jump. Goes, you just started moments ago. He's dead. I already tried jumping off the west side, and that just led to death. Oh wait, there's a cave here. Never mind. Didn't see that before. This might be close-ish to the hub area. Let's see. Lots of doors here, which makes me nervous. Yeah, I think this is the hub area. So I had been in all of these screens except for one, I think. I didn't fully explore one of them. See if I can figure out which one's which here. Oh, have I been to this village? I don't think I have. I watched the end of the VOD. I guess it's because I worked back around through that door. Okay, thanks. This is the guy that wants all the key items, I think, right? Maybe not. There's an area that's east of the hub area that I need to bring all the key items that I've been collecting. I don't remember fighting this guy, though. Let's see. Let's see. Make his ears bleed. Wow, he's not screwing around. I just fucking killed the carp there. Jeez. Well, too late now. He's my main damage dealer. It's really unlucky math, I guess. I might want to reload after that. That's really bad. I think he's like a friend of Brad's. Everyone has a weird facial hair in this game. Sticky doesn't want to do this. Try to trip him here, let's see. Fireballs do a good amount of damage if I recall correctly. Alright, guard paying off there. Make him weird. WSD. Nice evade, Brad. But now he's dead. Before I can get my attack off, too. Alright, we'll have to try this fight again. Classic Earthbound turn delay from the enemy there. Would have been nice to get those earlier in the fight. Poor Sticky. Alright, I should back up and see if I can res. I don't think I want to save though, because I might want to. Okay. I've been everywhere but the bottom two areas. I was just in the middle of exploring one of the bottom two areas. Probably this one. Let's see. Haven't had random battles in a while. That was the way I just came. So maybe I'm tapped out in that direction. It's a one-way drop. Maybe that's why they let me through. Yeah, I remember collecting them in the different areas. Alright, well, I'll make a save and see if I can get my stuff back. Yeah, I have to take the truck keys to use the island map, right? No spiders poisoning me, no characters getting kidnapped, please. Creepy. Just creepy though, not death. That might be as done can be. So I'm gonna check one quick thing before we head to the right here. Or go check out the island map. These guys. Right, okay, now I know where I am. Okay, I needed, because it just like randomly warped me, I needed to find where the heck we started there. So this is where we started the stream. Right was a couple of rooms that I had just explored. And we did the part where his friend dies, but it didn't actually, like, there wasn't any plot progression or key items gained as a result. And I don't think there's anything else here. So I can call this area done. And I tried going in the last door just now, and when I went in the door, it looked like it was a one-way door, so I think I just have to go to the right. Yeah, I think you're right, Eternus. So that's truck keys, area 2 at the bottom, I think. I like this game a lot. If I could change one thing about it, I wish it had a lot more stuff in-game to help you not get lost. I think getting lost is probably part of the experience, but it takes a while to kind of figure out the way that all the stages are laid out with a hub area and a bunch of doors, but like most of the doors look identical, so it's really hard to keep track of where you have and haven't been. Resort map. That sounds awesome. Let's go. We did Garbage Island already. Love this Steel Drums Mario RPG song. Poor Brad. What all is here? Oops. Coca-Cola. Resort. Fantastic. Hard to comprehend what this is. We usually see really creepy, like, flesh monsters inside of buildings in this game. Well, it's getting close to it, especially with the squishy noise while you're riding around. Great! This kind of stuff is what this game excels at, I think. It's insanely creepy. Especially since there's not like a formula as to when you get attacked by them and when they're just there, you know? Like I said this last episode, but this entire game is like the last 20 minutes of Earthbound. Oh, wonderful. None of them seem to hurt you, which is almost worse than them attacking you. Oh, secret. That's cool. Very guessable secret. The fuck is poorly constructed statue? Yeah, like it doesn't really have a difficulty curve so much as like a difficulty spirograph. It appeared to just be a weird random dead end. I'm not just doing it on a bike, I'm doing it on a bike that I'm turning with my teeth because my character has no arms anymore. Great! Wonderful! And this is all, like, kind of a secret area. You'd have to know to climb up there. There's no enemies or anything. Even the room that pretty clearly appears to be an enemy. Don't know what I was expecting. Thought I would try. Let me go trigger the scary room really quick, just in case there's some kind of event flag with it. I don't think there is, but... That might be the only usage of that song in the entire soundtrack, too. This game's interesting because it does a lot of things from a game design perspective that I think they're bad, but it's very much on purpose, like the kind of random difficulty level, and the ease with which you can get lost, and like just dead-end areas that don't have anything to do. Like, those are all completely intentional. It feels like you're playing like if David Lynch made a video game, you know? You watch a David Lynch movie and there's not a 3-act structure. Like, it doesn't do what movies are supposed to do. There's just a weird guy with a weird haircut and some kind of lizard baby, and you're like, I don't feel comfortable. That's what this game is. Alright, let's go to Area 3. It's kind of hard to pull that off. So it's not necessarily that it's bad on purpose, but it breaks convention on purpose. Alright, joy. Give drugs to my characters here. You got all the supplies to make a boat. That's great. Sure, you got everything you need. Brad and Tardy worked long into the night while your party rested. Barely spoke with each other. This might be like our one or two free rests in the game. Oh, I abandoned my party. Interesting. And you can see your party members sleeping in their little sacks. I got 2 fish party members. She's using the fan. That's great. Guys, I got wood, a cloth, and the fan. And it's clearly what you need in order to cross the water. Sorry. Mystical ninja here. This is definitely the long hallway. Just that soundtrack mixing. I have it turned way down, but this is like, I don't know, 10 decibels louder than whatever was just playing. And the song doesn't even finish playing. It's great. It's not gonna happen. Didn't go through all that work just for a pat on the back. I want a piece. Oh, gross. Yeah, we gotta kill this guy. That's not okay. A lot of gross people in this game. I can land the trip here. Nice. Of course, Tardy turns on us after all that. If you had a larger budget, not much would change, yeah. Like I said, I feel like everything is on purpose. There are parts that are a lot more, polished. He's dead. Like, these are the most bottles we've ever seen in one area in the game up to this point. Are they empty? Are they bottles of soup? Oh, they might be empties. Yeah, they're empties, okay. There's a place I can use them to fill them with soup. What are those little blue things? Joy, it's a drug. Where did you get that? They don't taste good. They make you feel good. Guy kind of looks like me, but old. Can't believe you're still alive. Marty. Grandpa saved your life. Oh shit, that's not good. I'm the villain. Marty Armstrong. What if I can let him kill me? I guess it's appropriate that Brad's alone for this. It would be kind of weird if you had a full party. He also doesn't seem that strong. Oh, don't. That's fucked up. Can we not do that? Brad is crying, Buddy is crying. Buddy's defending herself. Okay. I'm gonna see if I end up having an option. This is very Earthbound. I really love the way Mother 3 handled this at the end. It, like, tied in with the core combat mechanics so beautifully. I might not have a choice. You're fucking with me here. Can't use that on them. I can't escape either. Took no damage. I might not have a choice. This sucks. It's one of those, like, your choice is to turn the game off, right? This one predates Undertale, too. I guess Earthbound did it first. Alright, I made a save game. You just hit her for a ton of damage. Why are you doing this? Father is crying, like his name changed to Father. Brad won the battle. Bradley, I've changed. Okay, so she has Lisa. They've been calling her Buddy the whole game. Save. Interesting. The words of Terry Hintz fills your soul. If you want, you can save to a different slot in case you fail. It's a nice touch having him land on you there. Took the boat. At least she's not dead. I don't have my bike anymore. Jesus. I feel like the thing with Marty is not black and white either, right? Oh, Buddy isn't Lisa? Okay. Yeah, I kind of got the sense that, like, he was so mad at his dad because his dad either abused him or his sibling or something. Used Tardy as a boat. The sad version of the song. No game really exemplifies dark or black comedy better, right? Okay. She looks pretty similar. So that one room we went to, the hallucination with all the little girls, that wasn't Buddy, that was Lisa, his sister. Longer hallway. Sailing on a corpse. I'm guessing it does a poor job of explaining it on purpose. It's the kind of game where you're supposed to like get on the forums and theorize about it and figure it out. I'm guessing the clues are there if you're playing it in one sitting and getting all the optional dialogue and stuff. And there are multiple games in this series too, right? Series. And I've done games like that the story's kind of obtuse. Dark Souls, actually. Like, there's stuff that's demonstrably true, like the identity of the Nameless King in Dark Souls 3, if you pay close enough attention, but it's the sort of thing that, like, no player is ever going to pick up on their first playthrough. Kind of contribute to the world being bigger than the character and not being caring toward the character. It's the only real AAA game that I can think of that does that. Obtuse on purpose storytelling. Yeah, how connected is this one to the first one? This is an interesting game. I feel like it would be easy to walk in a random, like, 30-minute clip of this game and be like, that's really weird and gross and disturbing. Like, also the combat's kind of bad, and what's up with the fucked up soundtrack? Like, I think it would be very easy to miss the point of this game, if that makes sense. I imagine it is divisive. You actually play as Lisa in the first one? I see. This is the one I've always heard about, though. Lisa the Painful. Like, before I started streaming, I had heard about this game. I hadn't heard about any prior one. Rando rations. Pretty extended long hallway here. Short experimental thing, more weird than game, I see. That's not cool at all. What the fuck? I didn't think God cared about me. I used to clean toilets, but not in this world. Clawed her eye out? Jesus. Yeah, they're only comparable in that they're both inspired by Earthbound, like the Mother series. Basically, Undertale is the Mother series, but it's mostly the like heartwarming parts of it. And this is the Mother series with like the super dark parts at the end of Earthbound and Mother 3. Yeah, I think Undertale is probably the better product. This feels more like an art house game. Like, Undertale is a video game, and it's a satisfying video game in addition to being pretty artistic. But the game that you're playing here isn't balanced like an RPG might be, you know? But the game mechanics exist to tell the story and only to tell the story, not to create any, like, joy or fun gameplay loops on the part of the player. The player's just, like, trying to not die at every turn. Licked his claws. Wonderful. Hide. Do I have like a thing that removes bleed? I don't think so. Okay, he didn't hit me as hard as I thought he was going to there. Face, my mark on history. Brad gave Buddy his poncho. I don't want your help. Why can't you leave me alone? What do you want from me? You've done nothing but hurt me. Rick, Sticky, that's not what they say. I know what you really are. You're a monster. You've taken everything away from me. And Marty, what you did to him. Only a monster could do that. Yeah, we fucking destroyed. I love the way that you have that fight and he just looks kind of beat up, and then you wake up and you go back in the room and you see that he's just been obliterated. Better father to me in a few days than you ever were. Brad's body is feeling strange. How very earthboundy. He has become a failure. Failure is my new status effect. Oh my god. See if I can heal out of combat here. Nice. Did I force a fall on your face there? Gas engine to make a diesel firebomb. It's blocked. More rando rations. I'm trying to think if I've played a game on stream that's darker than Lisa, or if I've ever played a game that's darker than Lisa. Probably not. Really setting you up to make lots of fire bombs with all those bottles you got on the island with Marty. Yeah, Jesus. Just the buildup of that is pretty great. Very curled up, Ben, and very cute. I usually don't, like, I'm not a big fan of things that appear to be dark for the sake of being dark. But this is a story that I don't think you could tell without this sort of tone throughout the whole thing. As distressing as it is. I guess the best way I can put it is, like, I feel like it being dark isn't something to get, like, super excited about and, like, compare it to other games. Oh, it's so much darker than Undertale. It's so cool. It's like, is that good, though? Like, Batman vs. Superman is dark. Is that a quality? I think it's a description of something, but... Yeah, give me the ultimate soup. Wow, that would be really mean. About, ludonarrative synergy. Because they just expect every player is going to pick up every empty bottle they find. How many fucking diesel bombs do I have? 32. I only have 2 empty bottles left. End of the line, friend. She belongs to Rando now. Just gonna diesel firebomb all of them. They're gonna do a giant battle with 1,000,000 stacked dudes. They've already pulled the trick where they had multiple sprites stacked on each other. I want to say one of the Final Fantasy games did that as well. I don't know if it ever happened in Earthbound. What happened to her face? It's ruined. Old guy did it. We need to run. Hey, it's my friends. A really dark, very distressing game about a failed father whose daughter's about to get just had her face cut up. I don't know. Not very happy. Good feelings.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he showed me this before.
Yeah, 1 second. Cat's here. This is not teenage girls beating each other up in the...
Is this why you're cuddling Ben? Because it's getting bad, man? What's up, sir?
I'm right at the very end of it. Oh, are they going to fight me? Because that would be perfect. I have to fight everyone, including my old party members. That's brilliant. Okay. So can I just use these? I guess they give you these in case you didn't level up enough. Oh wow. I wonder if they're set to cry because of the diesel firebomb, or that's just a status effect. Looks like they can't really hurt me very well.
They don't seem like they're hurting you very much.
They're not, no.
This does not feel good.
No, I've become a monster who has probably been abusing my own daughter the whole game. Doesn't feel good.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I thought I had time. Good. Hello and goodbye, Jack.
Later, man. Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, she just woke up. See you later tonight.
Later.
Oh, have we actually not seen Rando up to this point? I didn't remember. Just complaining about her face being fucked up. Face is nothing, the inside is what matters. Ugh. Guess he's never talked before. Had I seen his face when I met him before? What will you like? You don't need to die today. Been dead for 35 years. Definitely when they give you the bombs. They do hurt a little bit. Power of drugs and Molotov cocktails. This guy's stronger than I thought. Great. I really like the effect of giving you all the empty bottles. That, like, the empty bottles, they're served to show you something about his dad. Then they also serve a mechanical purpose when you get to this final section with all these characters. So yes, sir. It's wild that all these characters more or less have unique sprites. Like, there were two there that are the same, but just about every human character in the game has a unique sprite. He's not human. How is he still alive? Oh, I like his little Brad's portrait at the bottom. It's messed up. My skills changed. Help me, Lisa. Cry out for relief. Oh, wow, yeah, that's like the Prey command in Earthbound. Aw. Blast of flaming emotion. So this is a spoiler, but I'd have to go back to the save point, and I feel like it would be anticlimactic if I did that. Is there any reward? Well, reward is a bad way of using it. Is there any new path that opens up by using the cry command repeatedly? Or does it just restore SP? So it's my inclination to use that, but I wouldn't want to game over and then, you know, ruin the momentum of the sequence. This isn't the kind of game where I can test that out with impunity, unfortunately. The kid they're scared of me is scary. Scary, armless murder hobo. Sorry, my question was, does anything happen if I use the cry command repeatedly? Or in order to progress the story, do I need to deplete every enemy's hit points? That's what I meant to ask. Okay, thanks. Like using Prey in Earthbound or Defend in Mother 3. Get away, you freak. So many of them are just horrified of you, Jesus. It's a good way to make sure that they don't overwhelm you with damage every round, right? They still have their great, like, names. Ron Farouk, Big Ant, Pirate Temple. Scream. Yikes. Yeah, let's get this feeling that, like, I'm the final boss. It's very, Last of Us. Clint Moss doesn't want to die. Oh my god. Jesus. Buddy, stay back. Master Armstrong, please. We don't need to fight. She is the future. Rando. And you got joy withdrawal during the fight there. Rando is scared. It works on the final boss. What might be the final boss, I guess we'll see. Pat's crying, okay, but it doesn't remove status effects. Ouch. No effects. The fact that he has fireballs too is interesting, right? Just generally resists fire damage, it looks like. You can't really trip him, it looks like. Oh, and the kid with the so you hear him stutter like that, it tells you who this must be. I see. That's cool. They're gonna have it be a reveal who the guy is. That's a cool one. That's why he calls you Master, too. I like how his sprite is decaying as the fight goes on. It's cool. Crying deeply. They do give you a billion rando rations. Oh jeez. His face. Save the diesel bombs in case there are any more group fights. Broken Man is the name now. Coughed up blood. So that's why he knows all my abilities, why he has a fireball and some of the same attacks. Yeah, no kidding. You really are the best. Thank you for everything. Thanks for reminding me about that Eternus. I don't remember that at all. Like the way he died with his hands out like that. Oh, I'm moving him forward here by pressing right. Come here, buddy. We can be friends, apparently. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you trying now? Why weren't you there when I needed you? You've taken everything away from me. Finally had a chance at life and you took it away. You make me sick. I hate you. There's a font change in the word stop there. Like, I had a chance to choose something for myself. Oh man, there might be more of a point to this than I thought there maybe was. I wonder how it relates back to the first game. Can't just be a father all of a sudden. So like, trying to think. there's this is a really heady topic, but this is a really heady game. There's this weird, like, boomer / Gen X, goes back way further than that, generational feeling of fathers needing to protect their daughters and, like, protect their daughters' innocence, and especially, like, their sexual innocence, to the point of, like, you know, bragging about wanting to kill potential ex-boyfriends. Like, if you come over, I'm going to be dusting off my 45. And it's this really toxic attitude, because it's kind of presenting young women as, like, their virginity is this thing to be auctioned off, that, like, only when they have the approval of the father is it acceptable. So this is a really extreme circumstance where, like, every single person in this universe is basically a violent rapist, and that appears to at least be literally true to Brad. But Brad also appears to be an unreliable narrator, and the progress of the game has kind of put us in a position where we shouldn't be on Brad's side, right? So, like, I think that you can read this metaphorically, too. Like, you can read what's literally happening in the story of the game, but you can also kind of see it as commentary on that. You've hurt me the most. Without going too far into it, there are people in my life who I will never advise play this game, because it would be extremely, deeply triggering to them. The single tear there was nice. Kill me? Oh. I want to know what it's like to be held, begging you. Oh, interesting. Now I'm giving her the choice. It's not quite a goat hug. She ultimately the better person, I guess. She had every right, though, to say fuck you. Did I do the right thing? No. Nice. Man, that is an ending. Quickly too diddly. This is an interesting choice of sample, too. Got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Ooh. Nice mix of it, too. Taste her, it's your fault. I love all the sanity stuff in the credits. Wake up, buddy, buddy, buddy. Gross. So he turned into a joy mutant in the end. Oh, wow. I can control him now. It's a nice mid-credits cut. How slow they make you move through the sequence in the earlier one. Yeah. Inside is reminiscent of Lisa. I guess in this case, Brad looks on the outside how he looks on the inside. Lisa. As if it wasn't bleak enough, I guess they're gonna leave it open to you. Selfless. Joyful end. So do you get the joy mutant depending on how much joy you consume during the game? Yeah, I hear you, Turnus. Let's see, we do have 2 hours left. Here, let me Let me wrap this up and then think about what we're doing after this, because that's a pretty heady, intense thing to play through there. I'll stay on the screen, though, because I do want to talk about this game for a bit. Are there other endings in this game based on choices made, amount of joy consumed, options selected, party members brought on, that sort of a thing? If you took no joy, you still turn into a mutant. You get a little text-only cutscene where characters talk about how only a little joy is needed. Interesting. Yeah, this is a really interesting game. Like, I kind of wish it was a little more polished, because I think that there are more people that should play it, and it would be turned off by, like, how almost deliberately unpolished it is. I mean, I've said multiple times that it's impressive that it was made in RPG Maker, and there is, like, the game is polished. Like, the fact that every NPC in the game has a unique sprite, and a unique name, and a unique ability set is an insane, borderline unnecessary amount of work for the sort of story that they're trying to tell, right? But it's things like the soundtrack not being mixed, or like combat not being balanced, that's kind of on purpose. I don't know. I feel like there's a version of this game that you could make that could reach a wider audience that wouldn't be immediately turned off by insanely loud drum slams on like the second or third screen of the game. Watch sometime before playing the DLC. Okay. Yeah, it's like I think it being, you putting it on subblock was very advantageous for me completing it. I mean, obviously there's the problem of there being a long gap between sessions, but honestly that kind of contributed to the feeling of like confusion and despair and bleakness. Like, I don't know if I could have played this in one sitting. It's a little bit too it reminds me of like Requiem for a Dream. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie. It's a movie that's really great, and I never, ever want to see it again because it makes me feel awful at the end. But like, well, the reason I mentioned subblock is if I had just like picked this up before I started streaming, I probably would have gotten an hour into it and been grossed out and not finished it. But I think that finishing it is important to like consuming the whole message. Like you can kind of, it has this weird dark humor thing that is like sometimes juvenile, and you can see the juvenile humor and think that the whole thing is just being juvenile, that it's just like trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy, that it doesn't actually have a point. And that's kind of what I've been impressed by, that doesn't seem to be what it's doing. That's the universal review. Fair enough. Yeah. It's super good. More people should play it. It's hard to get through. Like, not only is the story hard to process if you're immersed in it, but like the game is actually difficult to play. And it's not difficult to play in like, you know, Dark Souls is difficult to play. It's difficult to know where you're going, what you're supposed to be doing. Because of the way the levels are laid out, it's really easy to get lost because all the caves look identical, and you kind of just have to keep a mental map of every path you've been down. And then shit can happen so abruptly, like a party member can just be perma-killed in a boss fight, or perma-killed when you sleep, or perma-killed in a story event. So I had to do a lot of cheesing to beat it. Like I had to, anytime I had a useful party member die, I had to save scum and get them back, right? I'd actually be interested if this game had come out this year, like after the success of Undertale and what else? There's like One Shot, like other game, Doki Doki Literature Club, other games that were doing the fourth wall break, Earthbound thing, indie games. If it would have come out in exactly the same form, or if they would have done more to mess around with you with that sort of a thing, like tracking your saves is a pretty popular one these days. Oh, the Requiem for a Dream review. Great movie, never want to see it again. No. The soundtrack doesn't help with that either. Like, Clint Mansell does soundtracks the way that, is it Hans Zimmer who does the soundtracks for the Nolan movies? The Nolan movies are very, like, they're emotionally charged by the soundtrack, and I'm very heavily, like, impacted by audio when it comes to being immersed in scenes in movies and video games. Which is part of why, like, Undertale did such a good job of capturing my emotions. Why Mother 3 in particular, like, the song that plays in the final boss sequence of Mother 3 crushes me every time I listen to it. It's kind of the same thing here, too. Pie's really good too. Also an Aronofsky movie, right? His first few movies were, I think, the most solid. I didn't see Mother. Andrew watched Mother. It seems a little on the nose as far as religious allegory goes. Yeah. Whew. Mm-hmm. Hymn of the Faith is solid, and the way it's used in that sequence is really good. Well, Eternus, thanks very much for sharing this. I'll go ahead and split the clock, and we'll close it off there. We'll take... Well, let's see. I don't know what I'm doing yet. If you're a future YouTube viewer, thanks for watching this playthrough. Thanks for dealing with me being confused between each episode. Just comes with the territory. It's a really good game.